Ford High School Weekly is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.
Welcome to Ford High School Weekly. I'm your host, Deion Imade. Well, it's time to hand out some gold balls. Yeah, that's right. We're here in Norman to check out some of the action here at the OSSAA Basketball State Championship Tournament. Well, we got some highlights, we got some interviews, and we got some incredible players. Check it all out.
The 5A Girls Championship featured the Dutch from Holland Hall and the Lady Chieftains from Sapulpa. Getting things started, Staley Hurd with the opening three, and then Sophie Regalado knocks down a three of her own. Then Elise Hill gets into the lane and gets the tough two. After one, it would be tied 17 all. In the second, Taylor Hurd gets it high off the glass and finishes with a two for the Chieftains. Then Elise Hill hits a three and lets the crowd know about it. Elise Hill would hit another three to extend the lead for the Dutch. Staley Hurd would answer right back with a three of her own. They would go into halftime with an 8-point lead, 42-34 Holland Hall. After the second, Staley Hurd would split two defenders and get in the lane and get the layup. And then in transition, Hurd would get the ball to Taylor Bilby and she would knock down the corner three. Elise Hill would race back the other way to get the layup at the buzzer, and at the end of three, Holland Hall would lead 53-56. In the fourth, let's fast forward to the last 47 seconds. The Chieftains would get a rebound by Ricky McQuarters and she puts it back up for two and draws the foul. But she'll miss the free throw. A tough offensive rebound by Hurd and they get the timeout. With 8 seconds remaining, they get the ball in to Staley Hurd. She gets into the paint, gets the shot up off the front of the edge of the rim and gets it to go. With the last second heave, Holland Hall's shot is no good, and Staley Hurd leads the Sapulpa Chieftains to a last second win, 75-74.
Just what a game. What a great high school game. I'm just super excited for our program and Holland Hall. We have so much respect for their coaching staff and their players because a lot of these guys played with them when they were younger. So this one was a dogfight for us the whole game. The last state championship, we led the whole game. I mean, there was never a panic. But this one we had to fight for, and winning on the last second shot definitely made it even more special.
What was the message to the team before that last play?
Well, we're going to use Staley as a decoy and try to get the ball inside to our little freshman and just go score because we knew we were in a 1-on-1. We wanted to lay up or a high percentage shot and at least get to the free throw line or get the layup. And so she was covered, Staley was open, and she just made a play.
What did you see on that play, Staley?
They came out and they double teamed the girl that was taking the ball out. She came in double, and I was supposed to curl, but they're double teaming, so I just went out wide, and they trailed, so I was open, and I knew I was 8 seconds on the clock, so I just had to catch and go score. And there was an open lane, so. Well, I went in there thinking it was going to go in, but it bounced on the front of the rim, and I didn't like that. So, and if it wasn't going to go in, I was just going to tip it back in, so.
Tyler, you had 20 points on an efficient 7-10 shooting. What was working for your offensive game today?
Well, I just knew this was the biggest game of the year, and I had to step up and do what I had to do for my team on both ends of the floor to get this win.
Coming up next, the last two 6A girl champions meet up for the 2023 title when Ford High School Weekly continues. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. In the 6A title game, the defending 2022 champion Edmond North Huskies faced off against the 2021 champion Norman Tigers. Keeley Parks would get things started with a steal and a corner three for Norman. El Paparonis gets a tough two around two Norman defenders. Then, watch this dart from Nia Begay to number 24, Kaylee Jones, that turns into a nice 2 for Norman. That's pretty much all Norman, all in the first, but in the second, Edmond North would fight back, starting with this dish from the Gatorade Player of the Year, Lacey Steele, to Allison Heathcock for an easy 2. But Keely Parks would find herself in the lane and put up a tough contested shot. But then Lacey Steele would get a nice entry pass and get a layup off the glass, and it would go to halftime with a 1-point lead for Norman. In the third, El Paparonis would get into the lane with a nice up and under and get it off the glass for the Huskies. And then Lacey Steele with this phenomenal rejection. Kaylin Simmons would get a nice cut to the basket and get rewarded by Kaylin Jones for the easy 2. Paparonis would get into the lane with a nice spin move and get that 2 off the glass. Edmond North 49-42 at the end of 3. Then Kate Middleton gets the pass and gets the 2 off the glass. Kayla Jones would get herself a bucket and the foul with this tough shot. Paparonis gets the ball down low and Heathcock for the 2. A last-second 3 is rejected by Heathcock, and that does it. Edmond North wins their second straight state championship, 65-58.
You know, it's unreal. It's just mine's going 100 different directions right now. Before I talk about the team and what a great job they've done all year, and I want to talk about these 2 sitting next to me before I start anything. I may get emotional because these girls have brought this program on the map, along with not themselves only, but 4-year starters. In my opinion, the best senior tandem in the state of Oklahoma. They're a coach's dream to coach. You know, when everyone says, you know, hey, you do a good job, great job. Well, it's really easy to do a great job when I have these 2 for 4 years start for us. They've been phenomenal. They've been phenomenal leaders. They're phenomenal in the classroom. They're phenomenal in the school and how they represent this team. They've played together since they were 8, 9, I don't know. I mean,
5th grade.
It's going to be hard. When I realized that that we have the first practice, these 2 are in the practice, it's going to be really, really hard for me. Right now, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, but I love these 2, what they've done for this team and for this program and for this school, unmatched, and you saw it. You see it every night.
I would like to see either one of you, just what was it like to kind of be in that come from behind position that you don't see yourselves in very much?
You know, it was difficult. You know, all season long we've been blowing out teams. It was a struggle, you know, to be in that position. But we knew that if we kept our heads and, you know, slowly getting stops on defense, we were going to come back, and that's exactly what we did.
I would say this tournament is the only time that we've ever had to face any kind of adversity, and I think at first we just had to realize, like, if we don't pick it up, then we're going to lose our chance to be back-to-back state champions. So, I mean, all of us just kind of locked in, talked to one another, and made sure that, hey, like, we have 16 minutes left. Let's go out there and let's get this dub, and that's what we did, and I'm really proud of my teammates and my coaches.
I had a chance to talk with Grant Gower from the OSSAA about this year's tournament.
Grant, another tournament in the books. How does it feel?
I tell you what, it's just fabulous basketball here at Lloyd Noble. I mean, the teams, the schools, communities, just a great turnout, great basketball. It's exciting to have it concluded, but most importantly to see the joy and excitement from all the kids. Unfortunately, there are those that receive the silver ball, which is, you know, disheartening, but still great memories, because many years from now you look back at a silver, that's still pretty good.
Still pretty good indeed. So as far as the tournament and how everything went, did it go off without a hitch, or was there some complications that you didn't anticipate or that have been unusual from year to year?
Well, you know, every year there are challenges because each year is unique, but everyone here at Lloyd Noble and OU, they're tremendous to work with. They did a fabulous job. Amy Castle, who's over 5A, 6A, she did a tremendous job working with all the Lloyd Noble people and everything, making it possible. This year was different from the standpoint of going to a 4-day week tournament, as far as Wednesday through Saturday, playing 5A on Wednesday and 6A on Thursday, semifinals Friday and finals today on Saturday. but it was really, really good. The format really seemed to go very well. You know, you always have, you know, there's always a hiccup here or there, but very, very minor in the grand scheme of things.
5A boys game is up. It's a Mid-Dale School District State Championship battle when Carl Albert and Dale City hoop it up on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. The Dale City Eagles and the Carl Albert Titans met for the 5A championship in the neighborhood rivalry featuring the schools from the Mid-Dale School District. To get the scoring started for the Titans, it would be Quincy Hopkins with this nice mid-range jumper. Then check out the defensive battle we have for you in this game. Jaden Mott would get the block on one end, and then the McDonald's All-American, Brandon Garrison, would come back and have a block on the other end. Jaden Foreman would get a tough bucket for the Eagles on the offensive side, and then Brandon Garrison, the Oklahoma State commit, says, "Welcome to my block party," as he gets not one, but 2 blocks on the same possession. Garrison would also get going on the offensive side as he gets this physical bucket down low. Carl Albert would lead by 2 at the end of one, 10-8. And they would also lead at halftime, 17-6. To get things going in the third, the open man knocks down the open J. Jordan England hangs it just like Mike. Returning the favor, Percy Green knocks down a nice elbow jumper, and at the end of 3, Carl Albert would lead by 4. Jaden Mott would get a monster slam in the lane, and then get the foul. In the big games, the big man has to make the big plays. Brandon Garrison does just that as he gets into the lane and knocks down the shot. But at the end of regulation, Garrison goes up for 2 to win the game, and he misses. And the score is tied 33 all and will go into overtime. In overtime, Carl Albert would get the steal, but look out for Garrison with the LeBron-like chase down. Quincy Hopkins goes right at the big man though and draws the foul and gets the 2 for the Titans. On the other end, Demarius Beatley puts up the circus shot and draws the foul as well, and the crowd loves it. Under a minute left, Beatley makes another great move to get into the paint, but this time he dishes to the big fella and Garrison gets it off the glass to go for 2. With the last second shot, a floater by England, and it just refuses to go in. And that does it. The Dale City Eagles win 37-35 for the boys' 5A state championship.
We got a bunch of resilient kids that really stepped in and did some really special things defensively. We got down 10. We had to call that timeout. I thought the guys came in, they looked a little, like we were panicking. I just told them, we told them at half, we can't panic. In these games like this, they got to stick together, and I thought they did. And we got a couple stops, got to the free throw line. And when we got the game tied, I could just see it in their eyes that they've been there before, and they knew what it took to try to get that lead and get a win.
Coach, what was the biggest thing in cutting into that 10-point lead?
The biggest thing was I thought we had to get rebounds and push the ball and before they got set up in their defense, because they're so aggressive and physical. When that Tayshawn kid was back, we were 2 small guards, and he's guarding one of our guards, and we're just kind of bouncing off of him, and they did a really good job of trying to stay tight on Percy and kind of keeping Brandon off the block. But our guys, they stay tough, and that's something that Dale City Brand basketball has been doing for a while, and I was just really proud of how they played.
Did you ask for a better end to your career?
Not really, but it's just very exciting. Just one of the best coaches in the state, and playing with the guys I love the most, and we got it done.
Was this a typical Dale City Carl Albert game, you think?
It's always tough playing against Carl Albert. Just playing 2 Mid-Dale schools in a state championship game is tough, and it's just a great environment to be around.
The Edmond North boys try to match the Edmond North girls with back-to-back championships when they take on the one-loss Broken Arrow Tigers, next on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. The defending champion Edmond North Huskies would have to find a way to get past the Broken Arrow Tigers if they wanted to repeat as champions. To get things started off for Broken Arrow, Connor Dow would get a steal and the transition 3. He's excited about that. But T.O. Barrett will return the fire with this three of his own for the Huskies. Then, number 21, DJ Howe would knock down a three of his own for Broken Arrow. Dylan Warwick would get that tough bucket and the dunk on the BA defender. After that, slicing and dicing inside the lane would be T.O. Barrett as he gets the contested two, and at the end of one, Broken Arrow leads 13-9. Number 21, DJ Howe would get things started with a three of his own. Bang, bang. Then, Justice Sutton would get a corner three, knocking it down, extending the BA lead. Number 2, T.O. Barrett answers right back with another three to silence the crowd. DJ Howe would get in the lane and do the nicest bounce pass that I think I've ever seen to Ethan Ellis. Then Dylan Warwick would answer back with this tough contested two-pointer at halftime. BA leads 32-28. In the third, T.O. Barrett would snatch back that ball and pull up for three and knock it down. Then Connor Dow would hit a nice reverse layup. T.O. returns on defense this time, turning defense into offense and gets the flush 41-40 Edmond North. In the fourth, Connor Dow would get the step back three and knock it down. Then T.O. Barrett with a corner three of his own, and he makes it look easy. Coming back, Connor Dow would get the block, but who's there? For one of his 11 rebounds on the night, Dylan Warwick gets the easy two. And that would be the dagger. Edmond North wins back-to-back state championships for boys 6A with the final score of 58-49.
It's great to have great players. The last 4 weeks, I've just said, in tough situations, great players make big plays, and I always feel like we've got the best players. You know, Broken Arrow's a great team. They came out first half, shot really, really well. We had, you know, I challenged our guys at halftime just to leave it all on the floor, and I'm pretty sure they did. It's just, it's amazing. It's a fun atmosphere to see kids, you know, come together and accomplish something that started last year in this room. You know, I think that was the first question last year. Are you going to repeat? So we've played with that over our heads all year. You know, every game we're getting everybody's best shot. So I mean, it's amazing. I'm super proud of our guys. This season was very stressful. Expectations are hard. Expectations are great, but they're hard. And it's always a lot more difficult for me to coach a team that has great players, that's expected to win, because I put so much stress on myself not to screw it up.
Coach, tell us what's it feel like as players to do this whole run and make it happen again with the target on your back all year?
Yeah, I got it. You know, it feels good. It was definitely hard every game. You know, everybody wanted to beat you, and they gave you their best shot, just how Broken Arrow did. In that first half especially, they didn't miss. So, you know, it's fun. You get better with people giving you their best shot every game.
Definitely, like you said, you know, people giving you your best shot or you know, don't adjust. But I remember last year I was in here and I said we were going to win 2 in a row. So I kind of put it on myself anyways, you know, from last year. So
I'm sure Coach was excited when you said that.
Oh, yeah, he was ecstatic about it.
Sure. I see us win 2 state championships next 2 years.
You're already thinking about Cabo tomorrow.
No, for sure, though. I see us being really good the next 2 years.
We're now joined by the newly crowned back-to-back 2-time state champion head coach for the Edmond North Huskies, Scott Norris. Coach, how's it going?
It's good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I bet it is good when you're a back-to-back state champion, huh?
Yeah, it's been an exciting time. I mean, it was a much relief Saturday night, you know, when we actually felt like, hey, the game's in hand and the celebration started. You know, last year with the first one, it was kind of a little bit more unexpected. But this year, you know, kind of not assuming we were going to be there, but everybody kind of put that on us. at the beginning of the year. So, the pressure to get there and perform was a little bit higher. So it was a good relief when it finally happened. It was really sweet.
Yeah, I mean, we got a clip here earlier where some of your teammates and some of your players were stating, "Hey, we're probably going to win back-to-back state champions." I'm sure you saw it in the clip last year. You didn't like it too much, but now that they kind of made a profit out of it, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, that Dylan in the press conference immediately after the 22 championship said, I can see us winning another one or two more. And I was like, hey, let's just enjoy this one right now, not worry about it. But, they're confident kids and they love to play and they love to compete. So, with everybody coming back and as young as what we were, I think it's only what was expected that everyone would feel that way. So I was excited that we continued through the year, though, to concentrate daily on getting better, and we never lost focus of that. Just, there wasn't anything said about, hey, we have to win this championship for the season to be successful. And it was really just about the daily details and the preparation and just trying to get a little bit better every day.
So now that, you've gotten those hard questions as far as the pressure and this season and everything, but go into detail a little bit. What's different about last year's state championship winning team and this year's state championship winning team?
I think last year throughout the season, we really didn't know how good we were, but we were young, we were inexperienced, and, we kept improving last year. So it was a little bit unexpected. We got on a good run and things just rolled for us. And this year, we had adversity. There's things that teams deal with along the way, but I was proud of our kids that they kept believing in each other. And we just kept finding a way to win. A lot of times in the playoffs too, it wasn't very pretty. We were behind in a lot of those games late and just found a way. And that's what I'm really, really proud of our kids for doing.
Be sure to go to yourview.com/OK for highlights and replays of the Ford Game of the Week. And check out our podcast and past episodes at yourview.com/OK.
Well, that's it for us here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Thank you for watching. And remember, like we always say, only the best in Oklahoma make the Ford High School Weekly, like the individuals who won gold balls here today. So until next time, again, thanks for watching, and I'm Deion Imade.
Ford High School Weekly has been brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.